Do you know what the most terrifying tool in your shop is? I know what mine is. Let me tell you what happened to me. So what I was doing was I'm making a video on how to create these charcuterie boards using templates. And these are just acrylic or plexiglass that you can buy locally. Cut them in any shape you want. This one is a well board sent to me by Woodworks. Thanks, sir. This one was sent to me by Crafted Elements, and this is just basically a smaller version, but in a different shape. You just use CA glue and some tape and tape these to the boards, and then you just run them around a flush trim bit. That's where the trouble started. I got my laptop so that I can play back the footage and talk about it. What's fascinating, I had 6 kickbacks using the router bit, and I was using it improperly, and it was completely my fault. It wasn't until I started playing the footage back that I realized that I almost messed up big time. So first off, when I got the bit out of the package, this thing is massive. It's a white side ultimate flush trim bit. So even here, I say that I was nervous.
I'm pretty nervous. That's a big bit. Let's see what happens.
So as you can see, when I opened, I already was setting myself up for failure because I was intimidated by the tool. And I think that's one of the reasons why I had issues. Now installing the bit was just like installing any other bit. It was pretty simple to do. You just put it in your router table and go. Now I will admit, I've not used the router table much at all. I typically use a hand router, and the only time I use a router table is when I'm doing roundovers or just flushing up some stuff, some very little stuff. Like I've used it very little. So I glued the template onto the board using CA glue and painter's tape. Super easy to do, and I even cut off some excess so that I wouldn't have too much for the flush trim bit to do. So the first kickback I had, the problem is I tried to start like a quarter way in, and you could even see me jerk my arm back. I was setting myself up for failure there. Kickback number 2 was just right after that. What did I do? I moved the board on the wrong side of the bit, and instantly, as soon as it touches the bit, what happens? I totally lost control of it. It flew all the way off the table and onto the ground. My hand was pulled toward the bit. Now that could have been extremely bad because if that bit hits these fingers, they're mauled. Kickback number 3, the exact same thing, except this time I'm nervous and you can see it when I barely touched the bit. And had I started at that point, it probably would have been okay. But I moved the board just a little bit where there was a little more meat left sticking out. Why did I do that? I have no idea other than I was just not thinking. Kickback number 4, the exact same thing, 3 times in a row. I have no excuse other than I was just being a dummy. I wasn't thinking, I thought I could do it. I never stopped to think, hey, you should ease into this from the right side. I want to show you that between number 4 and 5, what actually happened was, I'll play the clip right here. You can see the end of kickback number 4. I say, gosh dog, I go around and pick the board up and do it again. I actually hesitated several times and was just trying to ease into the bit. And then of course, when it grabs it, it's gonna throw it every single time because the number one problem I was having was I was trying to start in the middle instead of on the end and work my way correctly, which would be from the right to the left into the cut of the bit. And finally, kickback number 6, you can see that I kind of eased into it and it did pretty good going in as far as it not kicking back. I still wish I had this done over, but I went all the way around the handle and it done just perfectly fine because once the cut starts, I can keep pressure against the bearing and it works just like it's supposed to. The problem comes when I basically try to go in at the wrong, for one, it's on the wrong side and I'm pushing straight into the bit, which is a huge no-no. Now those 6 kickbacks happened in a matter of 4 or 5 minutes apart from each other. Like it was just back-to-back errors. And that is usually when massive injuries happen, especially when you just keep repeating the same thing. That's the definition of insanity. I'm so angry at myself right now. I should know what I'm doing. And a lot of people assume that just because you're on YouTube that you know exactly what you're doing all the time, and you don't. So what is the most terrifying tool in the shop? Me. So I thought, I can't just leave it at that. I got to try again and do better this time. Now, there's a few things that I did to prevent kickbacks on this one. I started on the right side and moved to the left as you're supposed to. And I used push sticks or push blocks to hold that just in case of a kickback. It's not going to pull my hand into that bit. I should have been using push blocks the whole time. There's no excuse for not using them. It also helps me keep a better grip on the board, more pressure down. That way, if it does kind of give me a little resistance, I can fight that with the push blocks. And the third thing that I did was actually lower the speed of the router so that the bit isn't spinning as fast and isn't basically fighting me as hard. It actually cuts the wood instead of pushing it away from the bit. Now, what I learned was to be smart and not ignore the warning signs that happened 6 times. I still can't get over that. But I also learned that you can really batch these things out super fast using templates and a router bit if you do it properly and safely. Now, I didn't have any issues with this one as long as I followed the bit and done what I was supposed to do. This one gave me massive trouble because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So as embarrassing and shameful as it was to put this video out, I wanted to make sure that I share that with you, that you know that I make mistakes, everybody else makes mistakes, and I'm not perfect. And I want to share this so that you don't make these mistakes and get injured. If you're wondering about the background, I've recently got this and I got a video coming about it, so just stay tuned. If you like this video, click that box right there. It's going to take you to where I built this router table. It's a really cool video. You can go check that out right there. Also, another one of my favorite videos right there. If you click either one of those, you get a big old virtual fist bump. Thank you for watching.